that women in local government has acknowledged and appreciated across the Pacific, and it is to do with trying to get more women to be leaders in various ways, or take leadership role in various areas where they are able to make a change or make a difference in the community. Of course, amongst us, there are many women leaders here, and they've made it so far, but we hope that they will continue to provide that role model that's required in terms of the young leaders that are coming up, both men and women, and taking on the leadership roles. So why do women need to be leaders? Why do we need to promote women as leaders? In the Pacific and, of course, around the world, there are not many women role model leaders. So therefore, we need to provide that space, or we need to provide that environment for women to be leaders, so that other young women can look up onto them and say that if those women can do it, we can be leaders as well. So those who are in the position, we appreciate you. We would like you to see you take on the role model and be part of the empowerment that needs to take place across the Pacific region. The second thing that I think helps women to be leaders, or why they need to be leaders, is that from the very beginning, when they are born and they take on motherhood roles and various other roles, they experience many leadership qualities. And therefore, they have inherited in them many, many leadership qualities. And these include mainly planning, being a planner, being an organizer, being fair. In many cases, you see that women look after the children quite a lot. So fairness and justice is something that they always do. And fairness and justice is a good leadership trait. There are many other things, such as conflict resolution within the home environment. They also have skills in terms of negotiation. So these are skills that they have already developed. They already have in them. All they have to do is just put that into practice, yeah? And these qualities also bring about different types of leadership, or different styles of leadership. You see that in the 21st century, the type of leadership that's required is participatory and democratic leadership. And that's what women bring in terms of style. They bring participatory leadership, they bring nurturing style of leadership, they also bring cooperative type of leadership, and also they bring the style of leadership that we call nurturing leadership. And so these styles, if you merge it together with the styles that male leadership bring, which is mainly directive, control, and autocratic, you see that the more styles of leadership you have in an organization, the better it is for the organization. Because that means you are working with different styles of leadership, achieving a same goal. So those are some of the qualities that women bring, and therefore they should be leaders. And therefore it's important for us all to recognize that women are leaders and should be leaders. The only thing that changes for women is the environment. Yes, they are very good leaders in the sense that, okay, there are some qualities that they have acquired at home. When they go to the organization, the environment changes. There are different kinds of people. There's different languages spoken. There are different ways of communicating. So at the same time that they're bringing these qualities, they also need to build capacity to become better leaders. Yeah? And that's the same for any other person as well. And the last thing that I want to share is that women understand women and girls' needs better. So therefore, it's important that the women also look after the 50% of the population, which is largely female. So again, why women should be leaders? There are many, many other reasons, and I've only shared a few. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bibi. I'd now like to introduce Brenda Tohiana. She's the town manager for Buka Urban Council in Bougainville. She's been in local government for 17 years prior to the conflict, and she was asked to come back just after the conflict, or just before it finished, to help build up the Buka Urban Council and Buka Town. She's been there ever since, so she's responsible for the great developments that are happening. There's a lot of challenges there, and she's a dynamic person, and we welcome her to say a few words about her experiences.
Thank you, Megan. Good afternoon, all. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to share my experiences as a women town manager operating in a post-conflict environment. And I don't want my contact with the phone. I mean, not the phone, the microphone. We have been, as a council, I have been fortunate to have the support of many of my male counterparts within the AVG government in Bougainville to give me the support and the strength to take the council forward over the last 17 years. Sorry, my involvement with local government has been over the last 17 years, 2 before the Bougainville conflict and 15 in the post-conflict era. But when we were asked to establish the Buka Urban Council during the early restoration period, when a lot of the peace process was commenced, and right up to the period when the peace process was brokered and the Bougainville Peace Agreement was signed between the government of Papua New Guinea and Bougainville, we were operating in a very, very difficult and challenging environment. It wasn't just to do with resources to run the Urban Council. We had another peculiar problem that we were dealing with at that time, and that was the mindset that was prevalent at that time. And when, because of the conflict, the misconception by a lot of our young people was that land which had been alienated was supposed to go back to the original landowners. So you can imagine the challenge that my small team faced at that time. And when we talk about what tools to use in terms of dealing and managing in a local government environment, engaging in dialogue for us was a real factor in dealing with that kind of issue. And I suppose coming from Buka itself, where Buka town is, using my matrilineal ties with my own people actually helped me to talk and dialogue with our young people and our elders within the town area. And for us to achieve that understanding and making them understand that fighting in the Bougainville conflict and working to realize the ideals that brought us into the conflict required that government needed a base from which to operate. And that in terms of establishing and restoring services by the government, cooperation by our people was paramount to achieving peace and good order in the community. And the fact that we gave our assurance that in every activity that allowed for their involvement, they would be given priority over other groups to be involved in the restoration of peace and delivery of services by the government in Buka Town. So that paved the way for the climate for us to operate. But apart from our capacity constraints, we work together with our local government division in Bougainville, and also with our district administrators, so we call them district managers in Bougainville, or executive managers for that matter. And that collaboration between us as civil servants actually helped me to do my job better in nurturing and advancing a Plague-Link Urban Council. And then over the years, to establish other alliances and linkages, I had to connect with the PNG Urban Local Government in Port Moresby. This is the PNG Urban Local Government Association Secretariat. And to seek advice from them on how to progress the council from operating just as a committee at the time, because the legal framework was not worked out until the peace agreement was achieved. They provided us with that support and direction on the way to go. And through them, they linked us with CLGF. And I must acknowledge a role that CLGF has played in molding me as a leader in terms of providing a strong leadership in that kind of environment, and how to interact with my own people to come up with plans on how to develop our small town. Buka Town is still a developing town, and the challenges that you face are the same challenges that we face. But as Bibi said, as a woman, I think, and I would very strongly support this, that we have a special touch dealing with different people, whether they be men or young people, young men or young women. And it's that motherly role that brings that special touch in dealing with that and enhancing our management skills and our leadership skills. And I agree that leadership and good governance is the core ingredient to managing and advancing the ideals of an urban council. And I support that very much, and CLGF has helped me and my team to be more proactive in terms of being inclusive with our stakeholders. And in providing that training, that's actually helped my officers as well. And it has created that effective teamwork that we need to achieve our planned strategies for Buka Town. There's a lot of challenges still out there, like you have, and they are common challenges, but we are working to address those, given the tools that we have gained through the training that Bibi has taken us through in gender in local government, and that has included our people from Buka Town and also from Arawa Town on the mainland of Bougainville. And we have come up with work plans that are going to guide us in furthering our activities at the Urban Council level. Yes, I am a strong supporter of women in local government, and as I have shared with my young women officers and the councillors too that are there, that it is important to promote their participation at the women at the local government level, and that training is an important ingredient to molding themselves as women leaders at the local government level. We have included our menfolk, and yes, a lot of them too have come to that realization and understanding that gender in local government is not all about women only. and that it takes men and women to work together to achieve our shared dreams and to serve the interests of our stakeholders at the urban local level government level. We have created those, we have created our partnerships with CLGF under the flow project that we have now entered into with Whittlesea City Council. And these partnerships are promising ones for us. And I've learned to keep an open eye for partnerships, for I believe that through partnerships, sustainability can be taken forward. All my officers and my councillors too are all excited about the flow project. And we have had a word from Whittlesea City Council that our first officers will travel to Melbourne in September for that first engagement with the Whittlesea City Council. So these are some of the achievements that we have secured in terms of our partnership with CLGF and connecting us with Whittlesea City Council. We have also established that very strong partnership with ABG, and that is important. Building partnerships with your own governments, your provincial governments, and in your cases, you may have central governments. We have our autonomous Bougainville government. I see that as a very critical thing to do in terms of ensuring that our budget allocations by our autonomous Bougainville government continues for now and into the future. And I would also like to acknowledge that my Deputy Administrator Operations is sitting right here in this room, and he has done so much in supporting us in terms of our work at the urban local level government in Buka town. And through our partnerships with the Division of Local Government back in Bougainville, we enjoy being part of the senior management committee of the Bougainville administration. And that's an important policy body that screens policy submissions that go before the Bougainville Executive Council. So those are some of the achievements that we have secured over the years, given the difficulties where we started. And our town is growing. We don't have the basic infrastructure there. We don't even have sealed tar roads. We don't have a water supply and sewage infrastructure. But those are the challenges that we are going to undertake. We have secured funding for that, so light is in the tunnel in that regard. And we have also secured funding direct from the Prime Minister for our roads to be upgraded and sealed. So it's those alliances that we have forged that are paying the results of these positive outcomes. Thank you.
Thank you, Brenda. And just another round of applause for our women up on the stage. Now, as the purpose of this, the event, it's to celebrate women in local government. So if anyone has anything to say, I'm going to open it to the floor just for a couple of minutes. If anyone would like to say a few words, comments, thoughts.
There's one here.
I don't know what to say, but I'm a woman leader and like to congratulate two speakers. Leadership.
Just final statement, one very small final statement is that wherever we went and took gender and local government training, where there were both men and women, they seemed to have understood the situation a little bit better and more sympathetic to each other. So therefore, the progress that has been made after those training has been really, really good. The outcomes have been really good. So I congratulate those men in particular who have already attended gender and local government training. They have changed. Believe me, they have changed. Thank you.